Hi, welcome to lessonswithtroy.com. I'm Troy Brenningmeyer. Well, this week's lesson is going to be C6 Basics, volume number 1. So it's the first of a new series where I'm covering lap steel tuned to C6 tuning. That's a real common tuning for Western swing or country western or Hawaiian music even. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what gauge strings to put on your lap steel, because you probably, if you're in open D tuning, you're going to want to put on a new set of strings that will work for this tuning. So this is a real popular tuning for a lot of people wanting to get that kind of country western kind of sound. Let me just switch over here and I'll show you what I mean. I'll play you this lick here that I teach in the lesson, but here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So as you can tell, you can hear that third string is actually the one tuned to the sixth of your chords. So the tuning is actually C, E, G, and then A, C, E. And if you know anything about music theory, you know C, E, G is just a C major triad, root, third, fifth. And then A, C, E is an A minor triad, root, minor, third, fifth. So C major triad, and then stacked on top of that would be an A minor triad. C, E, G, A, C, E. So if you include that third string in your chords, if you're just doing a straight movable position chord here, you get that sound, that sixth sound. It's a major chord with a added sixth note in it. So really it's a lot like our standard dobro tuning as far as the lower strings are concerned, where you have root, third, fifth, and then the upper three strings, your third, second, and first string, your second and first are tuned to a C and an E. That would be a root and a third. And then this third string here, that's an A note. So that's where you're getting that sixth sound, is with that third string. Okay, so that's a lot of music theory, but we're going to get into some music theory today. And what I want to touch on first, though, is the gauge of strings that you need to use for this tuning. What I specifically got here was I ordered them from Elderly. Elderly.com, I think, is the website, or you can just Google. And these are the strings that I'm using for C6 tuning. As you can see there, starting on the 0, 1, 5. So that would be your thinnest string, your highest string. That's a 15, and then you got a 17, 22, 26, a 30, and a 36, if you can see that. Okay, so once again, let's go over this tuning real quick, just to make sure we're all on the same page. The sixth string is a C, and I'm using a 36 on that string. This fifth string is an E, and I'm using a 30, E, 30. And then a G, and using a 26 on that string. So we got C, E, G, 36, 30, 26. Okay, just name the gauge of the string that I'm using. And then on our third string, that's the note A, and I'm using a 22 on that string. And then we have C on our second string, and I'm using a 17 on that one. So C on the second string, 17. And then on my first string, that's the note E, and I'm using a 15. So we got C, E, G, A, C, E. And you will want to change strings on it if you're in open D tuning or open G or something, and you're wanting to try out C6 tuning. You'll want to get a set of strings, but they're not terribly expensive. They're pretty affordable for sure. So let's go ahead and jump right on into this lesson. And there's some tablature that comes with it, 4 pages actually, and it looks like this. So go ahead and print that out. And as you can see there, we're going to cover a lot of chords and 2-note pinches, some nice harmonized scales in this tuning. So a whole lot of info so you can really understand this C6 tuning before we even jump into learning songs or a bunch of licks or any of that. It's good to really dive in and know where your chords are and how to get some of these sounds out of the instrument in this tuning. So C6 tuning, basics, volume number 1. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, as far as some basic technique, you could wear finger picks if you want or not. I'm going to be teaching using finger picks because I come from a dobro background or resonator guitar background. Okay, what I always tell people is just to karate chop the bridge here. Keep your hand straight, let your hand naturally curve in, and then let it fall over. And that's a good position to be in with your thumb in front of your index and middle finger. And a real easy way to mute is just to do what they call palm blocking, which you're just using this part of your hand, the heel of your hand, and I like to just roll my wrist back to mute out anything that I may want to mute out. Now for this tuning and this style, I'm going to be doing a lot of 2-note pinches with my thumb and index. So you'll be seeing me do that a lot, or thumb and middle, just two string kinds of things. And it's nice to play that and get used to playing those and then rolling your wrist back and muting it out, getting a nice palm block going on there. You can also use pick blocking if you need to mute anything. That's just touching the strings with your thumb, index, and middle. And you'll probably end up doing a combination of those. Remember, I'm using a bar that looks like this as opposed to a round bar. Like I said, coming from a dobro background, that's what I'm used to using, but you could use a round bar if you wanted. This one's real nice if you ever want to do some pull-offs, but in this style, I'm not really going to be doing a lot of pull-offs, more just straight chord, kind of closed position kinds of things. But this bar is real comfortable. It's just a sheer horn stainless steel bar. Okay, so if you have your tablature, let's check out measures 1, 2, and 3. And what this is it's inversions of a basic C major chord. So a good way to think about this tuning is to let's forget about the 6th of our chord just for a second so we can get an understanding of where our chord tones are, just our normal C, E, G, root, 3rd, 5th parts of this tuning and of this chord. So let's forget about this 3rd string. That's the note A. That gives us our 6th sound. And we're just going to omit that, and we're just going to get C, E, G in measure 1 there. And you can either pluck it like that, but know that that's root, 3rd, 5th of your chord. Like I said, C, E, G. And that would be in root position. And then when you want to do a first inversion of that, that just basically means we're going to put the 3rd on the bass and do E, G, C. And that's 5th string, 4th string, 2nd string. So like I said, just get used to plucking those 3 at a time and muting out with the heel of your hand. Just like that. So we have our root, C, E, G, and then a first inversion of that, E, G, C, or 5th string, 4th string, 2nd string. And we're just going to forget about this 3rd string just for a second here. And then we're playing 4th string, 2nd string, 1st string there in measure 3 of your tab. And that's G, C, E. So as you learn that, you start learning when you can use this 6 to get that kind of country western sound, and when you might want to not use that, just so you have some control of your sound, because this string right here, when you're playing just straight chords, that's what's really going to give you that sound of that western swing, is this, using this 3rd string in with all your other strings. So get used to just doing the straight major chord, the major triad right now. 6, 5, and 4. 5, 4, 2, skipping the 3rd string, and then 4, 2, 1. And I suggest to go ahead and use your bar and just keep it real straight, and maybe just move it up 1 fret at a time if you wanted to. Getting each one of those grips, they call them, just a 3-note grip, and each time you play it, do a nice palm block right there. Roll your wrist back to mute it out, to really practice the muting part of that, because you're really going to want to work on the muting. So just go up 1 fret at a time, maybe all the way up to your 12th fret, And we'll go over what naming all these chords in just a second, but that just at least gets your right hand going, get you practicing some muting techniques, and get you understanding that this third string is going to give you that country western kind of sound, that sixth sound of the chord, and you want to have control over it. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to measure 4 of our tab.